Good morning, guys. Today we are just going for your session 4 of a rectifier and a full wave rectifier in the basic electronics subject in the module 1 semiconductor diodes and applications. Myself Sridhar H, working as a assistant professor in Government Engineering College, Haveri, in the Department of Electronics and Communication. Okay, so until the previous sessions we have just gone through the diodes, Zener diode and diode biasing. In this chapter we are just going through how here the diodes have been used. Okay, so we will first find out what is meant by the rectifier, then so what are the different types of rectifier. Okay, next, so in this session we are just going for this rectifiers. So why we require rectification, so what are the types of rectifiers. So rectifiers will be having two types, half wave rectifier as well as full wave rectifier. In once again, in a full wave rectifier we are having center tapped full wave rectifier or a bridge rectifier depending upon the number of diodes used. Okay, so we have been differentiating the type of rectifiers. Okay, first, so why we need rectification. Okay, rectification means what? Okay, so normally what we will be doing is, so the in general what the current whatever getting is enough for AC, that is a alternating current. So but the devices, the electronic devices what we people are been using, it might be your laptops, it might be your mobiles, your remote, torch. Okay, so whatever the electronic devices, it might be your music system or your television. Okay, we require converted AC voltage to DC voltage. So we don't require direct AC voltage, we require DC voltage. The conversion of AC voltage to DC voltage is known as the rectification. So it is just the simple rectification, means directly the AC is being connected with your mobile charger. Okay, so AC we don't require AC, so we require a conversion of AC to DC. Next, so this one is the AC, and which what is meant by AC and DC. AC signal means the alternating current, so it will be having its fluctuations. Okay, so this one is a normal sine wave, so we magnitude varies with respect to time, and this one is a DC signal, so we will be having a constant with respect to time. So magnitude here, the magnitude is varying with respect to time, and here the magnitude is constant with respect to 9. So this one is known as your AC signal and this one is your DC signal. Okay, now so definitions of rectifier. So rectifier is an electronic device which converts the alternating current to unidirectional current. So this the alternating current is been flowing with the what? Unidirectional current, only in a one direction. So also it can be defined as a rectifier is the electrical component that converts alternating current AC to direct current DC. Okay, that is AC to DC. Or so rectifier is analogous to a one way value that allows an electrical current to flow in only one directional. Okay, all these three statements remains the same. So only thing is it converting from AC to DC, that is in only in one direction. Okay, another thing, rectifiers is used in almost all the electronic devices, mostly in the power supply section, to convert the main voltage AC voltage into DC voltage. As we know already that the electronic devices uses the what? It might be connected with the battery. For example, your mobile, it might be your mobile phones, or it might be your laptops, your remotes, your watches, digital watches. Okay, or your music system. Almost all the electronic devices we require DC voltage. Next, every electronic device will work on DC voltage supply only, that is the main thing. So whatever the electronic devices will be using, so it will be using only with the DC voltage. So this one is the AC signal, so we will connecting with the rectifier. So we rectifier converts the AC signal to a DC signal. Next, what are the types of rectifier? There are two type of rectifiers. Okay, so normally we will be having only half a rectifier. Next, in the full wave rectifiers we people are having center tapped full wave rectifier as well as a bridge full wave rectifier. So they are telling it as there are two types of rectifier: half a rectifier, center tapped full wave rectifier, and bridge full wave rectifier. So here rectifier, half wave rectifier. In that full wave, once again it is center tapped as well as a bridge rectifier. First in that we will just going for your half wave rectifier. A half wave rectifier is the one which is the half part of the cycle, either positive or negative of AC is converted to DC. So half wave rectifier means only one diode is being, or one diode will be used. So we will be just considering for a positive half cycle or the negative half cycle, but normally we people will be connecting with the positive half cycle. Next, half rectifier used to convert AC voltage to DC voltage at only require single diode to construct. And next, the half rectifier consists of an AC input, a step down transformer, a diode and a load resistance here. A transformer, one diode and a one load resistor. Okay, so this one is just a AC signal, normal with the magnitude is been varying with time. Okay, so this one is the AC signal when it is being connected with through the load resistor. Next, so diode, so when it will be a forward bias, it will a close switch, and when it is reverse bias, it will be in a open switch. Okay, see here. So this one is the circuit diagram of a half wave rectifier. It requires what? A transformer. See here. Only one diode is been there and one load resistor. So this is the input signal and this one is the output signal. So how it exactly works, we will just going through the next slide. Okay, so working of half wave rectifier means when AC supply is switched on, the alternating voltage V shown in figure appears across the terminal AB at the secondary windings here. So these are the 2 points, A and B points. So this one is for the secondary winding, that is we will be talking it about as a transformer. During the positive half cycle, the current A and B is been flowing and the diode is in a forward bias. So whatever the current is being passed through the load resistor RL and we will be getting a positive half cycle. Okay, during the positive half cycle we will be getting the same peak. So what will happen during the negative half cycle? So during the negative half cycle, the diode is will be in a reverse bias, that is the circuit is in a off state, that is the diode is in a off state or it is in a open state. At this time what will happen? The diode will not be conducting, so there will be no flow of current across the load RL. So there will be no negative voltage here. So there is no negative voltage. And once again during the next positive half cycle, once again the diode D1 is in forward bias and there is a load current is passing through the load RL. So once again there is a peak at the output. Okay, see here. The same thing during the positive cycle, the terminal A is positive with respect to B and the crystal diode is forward bias. Therefore it conducts and current flows through the load resistor RL. This current varies in magnitude as shown in the wave diagram shown here. During the positive half cycle, what? The diode is in a forward bias. So during the negative half cycle, terminal A is negative with respect to B and the crystal diode is reverse bias. Therefore the diode does not conduct and no current flows through the load RL. So during the negative half cycle, what will happen? The terminal A and B have been in the negative bias, that is the diode is in a off state, that is in a open state. So it's not been conducting, so there will be no flow of current across the load resistor RL. So they will not be having any of the output at the thing. Next, efficiency. So these are some of the characteristics of a half wave rectifier. Okay, see efficiency. The efficiency defined as the ratio of input AC to the output DC. Efficiency is being given by the PDC by PAC, that is a power across the DC as divided by 2 powers of the alternating current. AC power input to the transformer PAC is equal to power dissipated in junction of diode plus power dissipated in load resistor RL. Here power dissipated across the load diode as well as the power dissipated across the load resistor RL, and the rectifier efficiency is being given by what? PDC by PAC, and so normally it will be of 0.406 divided by 1 plus RF by RL, and if RF normally the forward resistance, that is will be neglected. So the efficiency of rectifier is always 40.6%. Always the half wave rectifier efficiency will be standard value is 40.6 voltage. So next, the ripple factor. It is defined as the amount of AC component in the output DC. Okay, it is nothing but most of the AC noise is in the output DC, less the ripple factor. Performance of the rectifier is more. The ripple factor of half rectifier is about 1.21. Okay, see here. The ripple factor, if the ripple factor is less, the performance of the rectifier is more. Okay, next is peak inverse voltage. It is defined as the maximum voltage that a diode can withstand in reverse bias. During the reverse bias, as the diode do not conduct, total voltage drop across the diode. Thus, peak inverse voltage is equal to the input voltage Vs. Okay, so peak inverse voltage means is the maximum voltage that a diode can withstand in a reverse bias. Okay, next is TUF, that is transformer utilization factor. Okay, and this one is for nearly 0.287 for your half wave rectifier. So these are some of the terms. So average or DC current, that is represented by the IDC. So root means square, that is RMS, that is it is represented by I RMS. The output voltage is VDC, rectifier efficiency, ripple factor gamma, and the peak inverse voltage will be represented by the PIV. Okay, so here we are going with some of the advantages and disadvantages of half wave rectifier. So the advantages of half wave rectifier is it's cheap, it's simple and easy to use, and a low number of components too, because the low number of components, it is using only one diode as well as one load resistor. So disadvantages of half wave rectifier is it is a more amount of ripple content, transform utilization factor is very low, rectification efficiency is low, and it generates harmonics, okay, compared to the full wave rectifier. So normally will be half wave rectifier will not be used in much of the conditions. Okay, so here we are just going with one of the problem mode depending upon your half wave rectifier, and the statement what they are given is the input voltage to a half wave rectifier. So normally it will be represented as HWR, that is half wave rectifier is 200 sin 50 T. If RL is equal to 1 kilo ohm and the forward resistance of the diode is 50 ohm, find the DC current through the diode, AC or RMS value of current through the circuit, a DC output voltage, and the fourth is the DC AC power input, DC power output, and the rectifier efficiency. So we should find these things A to F. Okay, and the given factors are what? 200 sin omega t, that is omega is equal to 50. So load resistance RL is equal to 1 kilo ohm, and the forward resistance of the diode is RF is 50 ohm. So solution is being given here, given values. So first we should write on the what are the given values. So given value is V is equal to 200 sin 50 t. 50 t means omega is equal to 50. RL is equal to 1 kilo ohm, that is the load resistance, and the forward resistance RF is equal to 50 ohm. Okay, the first A, that is the DC current through the diode. So the formula is IDC is equal to IM by pi, but in the thing IM we are not, so here the IM is not been given, so we should calculate the IM value. So because IM is being calculated by using VM divided by RF plus RL. Okay, so 200 sin omega 200 sin 52 means Vm sin omega t. So Vm value is 200 sin and omega value is 50 t. See, Vm is equal to 200. So RF value, that forward resistance is 50 plus RL resistance is equal to 1 kilo ohm, that is 1000. So if we calculate, we will be getting it as 190 milliamps. So this is the IM value. So we have just taken IM value is equal to 190 milliamps divided by pi. So we will be getting a 60 milliamps value. Okay, so this one is the DC current through the diode, that is IDC is equal to IM by pi. Next, what you should be calculating is the AC or RMS value of a current. The IRMS is equal to IM by 2. Already we have calculated the IM value, so it is given it as 190. So divided by 2 is 95 milliamps. The third is the DC output voltage. So VDC is equal to IDC into RL. Okay, so current I is equal to V by R. So depending on that, VDC is equal to IDC into RL. So IDC is being calculated here, it has 60 milliamps. So into load resistance RL is 1 kilo ohm. So we will be getting it as 60 volts. Next, the AC power input. So PAC is equal to I square RMS into RF plus RL. So already we people have calculated what IRMS value, that is it is 95 milliamps into, that is IRMS square it is, so 0.095 whole square into 1000 plus 50, that is RL plus RF. So if we calculate it, we will be getting the value it as 9.476 watts. The DC output power the DC power output is PDC is equal to I square DC into RL. So already the IDC value will be calculated, that is 0.06 whole square into 1000 is equal to 3.6 watt. Okay, since it is the power, the unit is be represented by watt. So rectifier efficiency is PDC by PAC into 100. So PDC we got it as 3.6 and the PAC value is being given it as 9.747 into 100, that is we will be getting it as 37.99. okay, so the it's nearly a 40%. okay, so in this fashion you should be calculating the values and you should be remembering the formulas. okay, the IDC is equal to IM by pi, IRMS is equal to IM by 2, VDC is equal to IDC into RL, PAC as well as PDC. So I square RMS into RL plus RF. So PDC is equal to I square DC into RL, and the rectifier efficiency is PDC by PAC. okay, next, so in the second problem, if we just take the second problem, in an AC supply of 230 volts is applied to half a rectifier through the transformer and its turns ratio is 10:1, that is N1 by N2 they are given, that is the turns ratio we should calculate. Find AC DC output voltage PIV, assuming the diode to be ideal. okay, so they are given the transformer ratio. okay, first given value, the AC supply voltage means Vi is equal to 230 volts they are given, and the turn ratio is being given, so it is being N by N2, that is 10 by 1. okay, the given primary voltage of transformer is Vn is equal to 230 volts and secondary voltage is calculated as V2 is equal to N2 by N1 into V1. So this one is the formula, V2 is equal to N2 by N1 into V1. So V2 is equal to N2 value is what, 1, and N1 value is 10 into 230. So we will be getting the V2 value as 23 volts, but the maximum peak voltage is calculated as Vm is equal to root 2 into V2. So this one is the maximum peak calculated, Vm is equal to root 2 into V2. So V2 value is what, 23. So root 2 into 23 will be getting it as 32.2 volts. So now we should calculate the DC output voltage. So we know the formula VDC is equal to Vm by pi. So Vm is equal to what now, 32.2 divided by pi. So we will be getting it as 10.3 volts, and the PIV of the diode is Vm. So it is 32.2, whatever it is been calculated. So this one is for the problem for the half wave rectifier. okay, next the full wave rectifier. In that full wave rectifier, people have been dividing into two types, center tapped as well as bridge rectifier. Depending upon the transformer, it is been represented it as center tapped transformer. First we will be just discussing about the center tapped transformer. So first is the primary winding, secondary winding, and this transformer is divided into two volts, V1 and V2. So it is known as the center tapped transformer. So in between it is being divided. okay, and another thing, the full wave rectifier will be using two diodes. okay, so this one is just the information about the center tap transformer. Positive as well as negative, sine wave has been represented through the, so this one is transfer trans. So we will be having two voltages, V1 and V2. so V total is equal to V1 plus V2, and CT is represented as a center time. So whatever the output input will be having, the same will be the output. okay, first we will be just going through the full wave rectifier, and this one is a circuit diagram for a center tapped rectifier. So here we are using two diodes, D1 and D2. okay, so here, so this one is the input AC signal. So this one is the transformer. So this one is the AC input. So you are having two points, that is A and B, and this one is a center tap, and the load resistor is being connected across the load center tap, that is a load resistor RL, and we will be getting the output here only. So we will be just considering the output at a DC output. So what will happen, and the working, so two diodes are being used. So during the positive off cycle, your D1 will be in a forward biased and D2 will be in a reverse bias, that is D1 will be conducting and D2 will be in a off state. At that time whatever the input will be, the same thing will be getting it as a output. During the negative sorry during a negative off cycle, diode D1 is in a reverse biased and diode D2 is in a forward bias. The reverse bias means the diode D1 is in a off condition, and in forward bias means diode D2 is in a forward bias, that is in a on condition. So we will be considering the output at the load, that is the current flowing across the load resistor RL. So we will be getting a next peak in the positive off cycle. So this will be continuing. Okay, so same thing. So during the positive off cycle of the input, what diode D1 is being connecting and D2 is in a off state, and the current is being through output is being considered the DC output across the load resistor RL. So during this one is during the positive off cycle, and during negative off cycle what has happened, diode D1 is in off state, diode D2 is conducting, and the output is being considered, the current output is being considered across the load resistor RL. So what it has been explained previously, so same thing, both the combinations will be getting the positive cycle. So two cycles at the positive terminals. Okay, so this one is the AC input signal. So during the D1 means during the positive cycle, what diode D1 is in conduct. So what is happening, only during diode D1 conducts, or the diode D1 is in the forward bias when only during the positive half cycles, and diode D2 conducts when during the negative half cycle. So at that also we will be getting the output as the high peak. Okay, so with the combination of this, the total output current, so this one is across the V1 and this one is across the V2. The total output current V is equal to what? See, V1 plus V2. So during the spikes we will be getting at a constant thing. Okay, so these are now we will be just going through the characteristics of full wave rectifier. The ripple factor. The ripple factor is used to measure the amount of ripples present in the output DC signal. Okay, the ripple factor is defined as the ratio of ripple voltage to the pure DC voltage, and it is given by gamma is equal to square root of Vrms by Vdc whole square minus 1, and its standard value is gamma is equal to 0.48. Next, the rectifier efficiency. Rectifier efficiency indicates how efficiently the rectifier converts AC into DC. So efficiency means how efficiently the rectifier converts. So next, the high percentage of rectifier efficiency indicates a good rectifier. If the efficiency is good or high, then obviously the diode whatever we will be having is of a good rectifier, while a low percentage of rectifier efficiency indicates an inefficient rectifier. So this one will be just the efficiency check, whether it's a good rectifier or a bad rectifier, or in that is bad means inefficient rectifier. Rectifier efficiency defined as the ratio of DC output power to AC input power, that is means output PDC by input PAC, that is PDC by PAC. The rectifier efficiency of full rectifier is 81.2. okay, see for half wave rectifier it was 40.2, and here the rectifier efficiency is 81.2. okay, so why we are going for full wave rectifiers? This is the condition, the efficiency is 81.2%. So next is PIV, that is peak inverse voltage, or peak reverse voltage is the maximum voltage a diode can withstand in the reverse bias condition. If the applied voltage is greater than the peak inverse voltage, the diode will be permanently destroyed, and the peak inverse voltage PIV is equal to T2 Vs max. Okay, and the DC output current is at the output resistor RL, both the diodes D1 and D2 current flows in the same time, so the output current is sum of D1 and D2 currents, and the current produced by D1 is Imax by pi, and the current produced by D2 is Imax by pi. So the IDC is equal to what? 2 Imax by pi, where Imax is the maximum DC load current. The formula for this DC output current is IDC is equal to 2 Imax by pi, and the DC output voltage is VDC is equal to 2 Vmax by pi. Okay, so DC output current is what? 2 Imax by pi, and the DC output voltage is 2 Vmax by pi. So where Vmax is the maximum secondary voltage, and this one, the root mean square value of the load current IRMS is given by Im by root 2, that is the root scale value of load current is full wave rectifier. Okay, next RMS value of the load voltage Vrms is equal to what? Vrms is equal to Irms into RL is equal to Im by root 2 into RL. So this is the formula for the RMS. That is the root mean square formula. Okay, next the advantages and disadvantages of a full wave rectifier. Advantages is high rectifier efficiency, low power loss, low ripples, and the disadvantage is its high cost, and the center transformers are expensive and occupy a large space. That transformer, whatever it is been, the center tap, that one is very expensive and it requires a large space. So now we'll just going for one of the problem for your full wave rectifier. In center tap, so it should be FWR, that is full wave rectifier. The forward resistance of each load is 15 ohm. The RMS voltage across each of the secondary of the transformer is 100 volts, and if the load resistance is 1 kilo ohm, find the RMS value of the load current, B DC load current, and the C is your ripple factor. Okay, so what are the given values now? Solution given. So RF is equal to what? 15 ohm. RF means forward resistance, and VT is equal to what? 100 volts. So the secondary transformer is given it is, so we are taking it as VT is equal to 100 volts, and the load resistance R is equal to 1 kilo ohm. Okay, now the peak value of the input voltage Vm is equal to what? Root 2 into V2. So it's a given formula. So already we people know it. Vm is equal to root 2 into V2. Putting the V2 value is equal to 100 volts. We will be getting it as 141.2. And the peak value of the load current is given by Im is equal to Vm by Rf plus RL. So putting the value of Vm plus Rf plus RL, so we will be getting it as 139.3 milliamps. Now we should be calculating the RMS value. The RMS value of the load current is what? Irms is equal to Im by root 2. So since the formula, we should be calculating the previously the terms. Im is equal to, so already people have calculated it as 139.3. so by root 2 is, so we'll be getting the value it as 98.5 milliamps. In the DC load current is IDC is equal to 2 Im by pi. So Im value people are having 131.3, sorry 139.3. so into 2 divided by pi, you will be getting it as 88.69 milliamps, and the ripple factor is given by gamma is equal to Irms by IDC whole square minus 1 is equal to square root of 98.5 whole square divided by 88.69 whole square. So Irms by IDC value, so we will be getting it as 0.48 value. So this ripple factor is 0.48. so normally people will be getting a standard value. Okay, so this completes the session 4, that is of a full wave rectifier as well as a half wave rectifier. In a full wave rectifier, just completed the only one session, that is a center tapped full wave rectifier. In the next session, we will be just going through the full wave rectifier, that is a bridge rectifier, and then we'll compare half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier as well as the bridge rectifier in the next session. Okay, thank you.